Welcome to Corys Conscious Living. Are you ready to meditate with Cory? Well, lay down and get comfortable. Make sure that you have all the wiggles and squiggles and giggles out of your body. So give yourself a good shake. Shake your head, shake your mouth, shake your body, shake your arms, shake your legs, shake everything out so that you can lay still and be quiet and listen to the story. Heidi, Cherry and Vaya had said that they would babysit Ellie. They said it, but they weren't sure about what they were getting into exactly. Cherry, of course, was not very happy because Cherry's really not into children. Well, small ones, like babies and things. But Ellie is almost 2. She's 19 months old. And she's really fun and cute and sweet. And they thought that they could handle her. Well, they were a little bit surprised. It started really early when Ellie decided that their tails were very interesting and she was going to pull them every time she was close to them. Literally try and pull them so that she could pull the tails out of their bodies because that's what she thought that they would do. And she giggled and laughed and the cats meowed and jumped. She thought this was the most hilarious thing in the world. And because the cats had such a big reaction to their tails pulled, which of course doesn't feel very nice, she thought it was even more funny. So she did it more. So she kept pulling on the cats' tails and the cats kept meowing really loud and jumping as if they'd been electrocuted. And she just thought that that was the best thing ever. Heidi said to Cherry, "I don't know how long we can keep doing this. We've only been here 20 minutes and my tail feels like it's going to fall off." Cherry said, "OMG, tell me about it. At one point, I think she actually did crack something in my tail. Something actually cracked." Vaya started laughing. "Even though me doesn't think it's funny. Well, I do think it's funny, but me doesn't like it at all. Me thinks it's very funny because me thinks every time she does it, it's really, really funny. Even though it hurts a little bit, it's really funny." So she was just laughing. She wasn't any good. Cherry said, "Oh, Vaya, it's not that funny. It's actually quite painful. I wonder if she'd like it if we yanked on one of her legs every time we pass by. I don't think Ellie'd like that very much. Would you, Ellie Belly? No, you wouldn't." Obviously, Ellie just thought it was hilarious because Cherry was just performing and meowing and meow, 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 meow. And she just thought that was even more funny. Then they all got completely covered in peanut butter because peanut butter is one of Ellie's favourite things to eat on a spoon, but she likes to share it. And she smothered it all over the fur. It was sticky. Cherry said at one point, "I can't move me whiskers. Me whiskers are actually stuck near to me eyeballs. I can't move me whiskers. How am I supposed to feel where I'm going in dark places if I don't have me whiskers? This is absolutely awful. What if I never get me whiskers back? I can't even get my tongue out to lick it, and all my face is stuck up. She even got it under me armpits and everything. I'm like, everything's covered in peanut butter." This, Heidi thought, was funny too. And she was laughing because she had peanut butter stuck all around her mouth where Ellie had tried to feed her with a spoon. And she also had it all over her tummy. And every time she walked, her legs stuck to her tummy and she just gave in and thought that was really, really funny. "It is funny," said Heidi. "I never thought we'd be covered in peanut butter like this." Vaya did not think this was funny. "She got it on my princess dress. She's absolutely covered my princess dress in peanut butter. I don't think this is funny at all." Heidi thought that was really funny. So then the poor cats discovered at this age, everything seems to be dangerous. Ellie wanted to stick her fingers in plug holes. Thank goodness they had plug hole covers on, but she discovered how to take the plug hole covers off. She also got into every single cupboard including the snack cupboard. And she wasn't really talking very much, but she pointed, and if you didn't understand what she was pointing at, the cats very quickly figured it out because she would just sound and scream in a very high-pitched squeal until they figured out which snack it was that she wanted. This kid was hard work. Then, poor Heidi got put in the toilet. Yes, in the toilet. They found Ellie playing in the toilet, which was super gross. Cherry was like, OMG, this is like the grossest thing I have ever seen. This kid gets into absolutely everything. How on earth did she find a way in the toilet? Did you not close the toilet door, Vaya? Vaya said, me thought I did. And Heidi said, I thought I did. Cherry thought to herself, did I close the toilet door? Well, it doesn't really matter who didn't close it. What matters is she's found a way in here and she decided Heidi needed a bath in the toilet of all places. This is absolutely despicable. This kid. Ellie, is it not time for bed? Said Cherry. She was very, very tired of Ellie already, but it was nowhere near bedtime. Poor Heidi was absolutely drenched, poor thing. The next thing that Ellie did was she wanted to play dress up. Vaya was very good at dress up, so she was playing princess dress up with her, which only lasted 10 minutes, and then Ellie was bored once again and wanted to play something else. Oh, said Vaya. Me thought that would last at least 20 minutes, not 10. Oh, I'm sorry, guys, but she already wants to do something else. She kept dragging them to the front door to take them out for a walk. She wanted to walk around the block. This was one of Ellie's favourite things to do. Just walk and look at the plants and say hello to the neighbours and bang on the cars and throw stones and jump in puddles and do everything that took 10,000 billion minutes to just walk 10 paces, basically. And then to try and get her back in the house after the walk was an absolute nightmare because she never wanted to come back in. The cats had been warned about this, but Ellie would not leave them alone. She kept pulling either the tails or the paws to the front door and going, out, 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 like she wanted to go outside. So the cats decided, let's just take her outside. It might pass another 10 minutes, and then it might eventually be bedtime. Well, nowhere near yet, but still we can dream, said Heidi. So the cats decided to walk her outside. She hit every car. Grandad, as if it was Grandad's car. She banged on all the wheels, got very, very dirty. She banged on all of the posts, all of the grates on the path. She decided that somebody's garden that was full of pebbles instead of grass, like rocks instead of grass, their rocks needed to be thrown all over the street. So the cats had to keep running and picking up the rocks and putting them back on the neighbour's garden where they belonged instead of in the street. So when they came home, they didn't just find their pebbles all over the place. The walk was fun, and it did take up 15 minutes. Whew, 15 minutes less, said Cherry. 15 minutes closer to this kid going to sleep. All right, what should we do next? In fact, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do next. She's pulled his tails. She's covered in peanut butter. Poor Heidi's had a bath in the toilet. She's done dress up with Vaya. We've walked her all over the streets. You'd think her little toes would fall off because she didn't want to put her shoes on. No, she had to walk barefoot. No, is she tired? Absolutely not. I think we need some help. Heidi looked at Cherry and said, I think you're right. Shall we call some friends? Cherry said, I thought you were never going to say it. Vaya said, oh yeah, me thinks we should. Me thinks we should call our friends. Me definitely thinks so. So the cats called Gabby, they called Natalie, and they called Ava. They know that they would be a good help with the cats. The girls came over. The first thing that they did was play ball with her inside. Cherry said, oh, that's a good idea. I never thought of that. Didn't know she liked to play ball. And then, after they played ball with her inside, they played with baby dolls. Heidi said, genius. I didn't know whether she liked baby dolls or not. We should have done that. Cherry said, yeah, I know, we should. Vaya said, well, really, that was obvious, weren't it? I would have thought that she did like baby... Well, it's not that obvious, but there is like 10 baby dolls over there in the corner. Obviously, she does like them, yeah? Methinks that I could have played with baby dolls with her. We could have dressed the baby dolls up. Oh, no. Or maybe I'll go do that now with the girls. So Vaya went over to play dress up with the girls, with the baby dolls. And that lasted at least 30 minutes. Cherry looked at Heidi. That's 30 minutes down, 30 minutes closer to bedtime. Then the girls could tell that she was getting tired and they made her a bottle. It was time for bed. Thank goodness for Gabby and Natalie and Ava, because the cats had got absolutely no clue when this child was supposed to go to sleep. So they took her into the bedroom. They laid her down with a snuggly blanket. She had her binky. She had her teddy. She had her bottle. And then the girls read her a story. Cherry said, "Genius! Absolutely genius! Why didn't I think of that? I could have thought of that. I'm really good at reading stories. In fact, I'm going to go help. I'm going to lay with them and I'm going to read a story." All right, everybody listen. The girls listened and Ellie looked at Cherry. I'll tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story about a cat. A cat called, let me think. Cherry. A cat called Cherry. Cherry was the most awesomest, fabulosest, geniusolosimousest, bestest, fantastic cat in the entire world. Do you know why she was that cool? Do you know why? Everybody went, no. Ellie went, yup. Cherry said, You do, you know why? Tell me then, Ellie, tell me why. So Ellie said, like she knew exactly what she was saying. Cherry seemed to understand her. Yes, that's it. That's exactly why I'm absolutely the bestest, coolest cat in the world. I'm cool because I have superpowers. Now, this cat, Cherry, that's me. Cherry had superpowers. And Cherry was a hero to the world. A hero to the world. She would go out and she would save people in trouble. She would help old ladies cross the street. She would stop cars from crashing at red lights if they weren't paying attention. She one time stopped an ice cream from falling off an ice cream cone for a little girl. Just like you, Ellie. Ellie smiled at this. And then, one time, she jumped off a building without a parachute that was at least 24 stories high. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. 24 stories high. And she jumped off and landed on all four paws and didn't break a bone. That's a superhero. And also, this Cherry. Heidi sat and listened. Vaya sat and listened. Everybody started to get snuggled down, even though this story was very interesting. They all started to kind of blink slowly and close their eyes just a little bit longer between each blink. The girls got snuggled down next to Ellie. Everybody was on one giant king-size bed, all snuggled together. And then, one time, Cherry, the superhero cat, the most fantastic, fabulosest, duper-dobby-dosest, brilliant cat in the entire world, decided that she was going to stop a supermarket from getting robbed. There was a little, it wasn't little, it was an actual person. Let me get this story right. It was an actual person, and this person was going to go out of the store without paying for an apple. Now, you wouldn't think that was a very big crime, would you? Because this person was obviously very hungry, and maybe they didn't have any money, and that's why they were going to take an apple. But law says you're not supposed to do that, right? Everybody said, right. and then kind of blinked slow and closed their eyes a little bit more. Listen, and then superhero cat Cherry saved the day. Do you know what she did? Everybody said no. Well, Ellie doesn't know how to say no yet, so she said yep once again. And Cherry said, You do? You know how we saved it? Tell me how we saved it then, Ellie Belly. Tell me. Ellie said, Cherry said, Wow, you know exactly how I did it. That's awesome. I actually like you. I like you a lot, Ellie. I think you're really smart. You talk my language. Anyway, yeah, Ellie's absolutely right. Did you hear that? Did you hear what she said? She said, yeah, Cherry saved the day by tripping up this criminal at the front door of the store. I tripped him up. I dived in front of him and he didn't see me and he fell over. The apple rolled out of his hand into the car park and the alarms went off. Don't know how, but they did. The alarms went off and the police sirens started and there was like 18,000 police cars there and I got an award and I was in the newspaper and me, my smiling face next to an apple like this. And she did a big smile. And then, so she looked around and everyone had got their eyes closed. Everyone had fell asleep. Cherry didn't know whether to think she was even more fantastic because she did a good job at putting everybody to sleep because it was bedtime story, or whether to be offended because she was really into her story and she thought it was super exciting and everyone fell asleep. She decided to think that she was absolutely awesome. Even more awesome. Cherry, the superhero cat, who could tell the best stories in the world, she decided. She settled down next to Ellie. She had a little suck on a bottle when no one was looking. Well, no one was looking because they were all asleep. She decided that Ellie's bottle tasted really good. Very good indeed. But then she closed her eyes, snuggled down, and got comfortable. And finally went to sleep, just like everyone else. She had a few rough points through the night where she was dreaming about being covered and smothered in peanut butter. At one point, she felt like she was being drowned in the toilet. There was another time where she felt like she was stuck on a post and somehow she'd been tied up. There was another time where she'd been just walking past Ellie and all of a sudden, Ellie pulled her tail completely off. There was another nightmare part where she was dreaming about Ellie throwing stones all over her and there were little lumps and bumps popping up all over her body. She got a big giant lump in the middle of her forehead from a big giant stone from the neighbour's yard. But she did sleep. And she realised that she really did like Ellie. She was a very sweet, cute little girl. But the problem was she was just a little girl. The end.